Alright everyone, I'm finally uploading. And this is a review on my game accurate Jazwares Freddy figure. I've been working on him for a while, and I actually debated it for a while. And when I finally chose to do it, I was really happy with it. I actually improved a lot on this figure, which one of these things is I gave him the welt of hand. This is of course because they are more accurate shape, he has his mic, and yeah, they are still too small, but they still look way better on Freddy. I also gave him a ball joint in the neck. It's not that visible when his neck's fully open, and it adds so much more movement. I also added ball joints in the ears, and they're not visible, but ball joints in the eyes too. I will be putting a tutorial up on how I did that, but yeah. Trimmed down his arms. I know that looks a bit bad, but meh, it's not really showing that much. It just limits his articulation with the originals, and this just helps it. It's not that visible, and it just really helps with making Freddy an actual good figure. He also does have the original world of Mike because I think it looks great. Let's just get into depths on the articulation of this new improved Freddy figure. Okay, so for the articulation, he has a really nice range in his shoulders, fully ball jointed ears, a ball jointed neck, a nice range of jaw articulation. He's got it's not that good, but he's got an improved articulation in the elbows. He's got a hinge. Yeah, that happens because of the way I designed them. But when you're like posing him, if you want to get him in a pose, it's not a big issue. But yeah, he's got a hinge in the wrist. That one has the issue more. This one is fine. He's got a really nice ball jointed torso. Oh yeah, and this also swivels, but I don't want to do that right now. He's got drop down hips and a very nice range of movement in the legs. He's actually got an okay movement in the knees, and he's also got movement in the feet, which is kind of hard to play around with. But I really like how this turned out. Let's just get into the posing of this guy. My body figure. This one is going to be shorter since most of the stuff I did was the same as Freddy, like the ball jointed neck, the improved arm articulation, and the eye articulation. The big change of Bonnie is, for one, his paint job, and his ear articulation is way different. So I did a Lego ball joint at the base of each ear. This allows him to have a really nice range of motion in them. I also gave a hinge in these. This was a tutorial from Sinister Creations, so thank you for that. I gave him this really nice paint job. I'm actually really happy with the results. He has a much more hidden ball joint since this was my second attempt. I will probably eventually remake Freddy's, but I don't know. He has the same great articulation as Freddy's, and speaking of, let's get into that just because there are some changes, of course. Alright, to get into the articulation segment, I gave him the same improved arm articulation as Freddy's. He does have slightly better arm articulation though, from what I remember. This is a little bit better, I think, but I don't know for sure. He doesn't have any modded hands, so he still has the full range that the original Jazwares would. He has a nice range of jaw articulation. He's got less neck articulation because it's more hidden. For the ears, he has this movement, like up there, hinge, and another hinge, and then you can also move it backwards. This one has slightly more limited articulation, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. And let's have a look at some poses with Bonnie. Alright, overall, I am so happy with the results of these. I do think I did better with the paint on Freddy because I based it off of like an image I saw on Google for the FNAF 1 title screen. Not title screen, like app image, which made him much more orange than most other images. He isn't as orange as the Jazwares, he's much more brown in person, it's just the camera that makes him look this bright. And I think he looks great. Bonnie's paint looks a lot more blue on camera. He's a lot darker in person for the darker tone, and a lot more light in person on the lighter tone. But these guys are genuinely such a big improvement, and if you want to do a lot of these mods, I say watch Sinister Creation tutorial to most of them. I'll eventually make an eye articulation tutorial, and then you can have a look at that. Let's look at how these guys scale with some other figures. I apologise to Bonnie, but I use Freddy for this just because I prefer him. So let's compare him to his withered counterpart. Now, the withered Freddy is still taller due to his bigger head, but you can see the game accurate Freddy is like bigger because of the extra neck articulation. So like you can really see it there. So I think this does make them a little bit taller. So I think this will work really well if you have some slightly smaller figures that they look close. You just need a little bit more height to them. So adding this neck joint, if you add it like how I did, it will make them just a teeny bit taller than they were before. And then you can add it in other ways to make them look even taller. And if you cut the whole neck off, you could even make them shorter. Right, next up we have the world of Toy Freddy. Speaking of, I'm voice acting VR Toy Freddy in the FNAF Hunger Games Season 2. I'm super hyped for that. But yeah, this guy is much bigger, so you could maybe even replicate the scene from the movie if you had a ball joint. Mine doesn't, but you could have a scene where like, Freddy rips Toy Freddy's torso off. No, you can't have the like prototype one where he rips all his limbs off. Alright, yeah, I'm really happy with this. Final overview. I think these are my best customs, paint job wise, I've ever made. And these mods are so worth it. To be fair, you will need things like Dremel and stuff like that, so if you're young, I'd say do it with an adult because this is dangerous stuff. But stay tuned for my tutorial on how to do the eye articulation. Alright, see everybody on the next video. Bye bye.